We are hosting an event called Brews Bytes, where we're looking at Google Chromebooks to see what kind of data can be retrieved from those Chromebooks or the accounts that are connected to them. We have a wide variety of people. About half or maybe 2/3 of the people are law enforcement, local police departments, state crime agencies, federal law enforcement. We have some people that come from private industry like ourselves. We have district attorneys here. We have a firefighter that's a fire investigator. It's really anybody that might encounter these devices and wonder what data's on this that might help them solve their case.
I know my team is going to be taking apart some of these devices, understanding what's happening there. Are there ways that we could interact with the board as a means of pulling data?
Because that's what gets us.
Oh, that automatically.
Can you erase this one though, and punch in the serial number?
Getting the opportunity to work with others and try to come to some solutions today was an incredible opportunity. So came out here to participate. We've also are building a Chromium VMDK, or we're trying to. We're trying to.
I'm having syntax issues at the moment.
So we're doing that so that we can put the accounts in there and have a VM that we can post it so everyone can work off the same VM potentially to do a DD direct acquisition so we can get the data that way.
People were excited to come, get their hands on Chromebooks, share with some of their fellow practitioners in this space, and see what's possible on doing digital forensics on these devices.
You have to have the username and password, otherwise you can't even acquire it. Each profile is encrypted with his own encryption keys. Even if you get the password for the owner's profile, you cannot acquire automatically all the other ones, thinking they're decrypted. They're not, because they have their own encryption keys.
Having all these different types of people at the same place and working on real life situations in terms of looking at the data, looking at this device is really important.
We'll start with this table right here.
We are working on virtualizing the environments of the Chromium operating system and making virtual machines. That way we can do acquisitions and analyze the data that we're going to retrieve.
We have about 12 different models today. So some of the stuff people have found in the past, we're learning doesn't work on all of the models of Chromebooks. The other is simply getting the data out. Once we have the data out, making sense of what's there, either coming off of the device, comparing that to what's coming out of the cloud. So far the team has made a lot of data today that they're trying to get through.
So we've got the pools with Axiom. One's done, one is being done. We've got oxygen being done, and we've already started a comparative document where we're going artifact, we're going category across the tabs, then artifact, and then if it exists, and to take out the different cloud acquisitions, and then we'll do the physical acquisition and Chromium acquisition as well.
Going forward in your investigations, you may only have to create one of the three, or two of the three.
In the planning for the event, we identified areas that were worthy of investigation today. First, acquisitions, just getting the data off of the devices, analyzing the data that came off of the devices and out of the accounts. Legal go-bys for legal counsel to know on how to request data.
My part in it is we're putting together some go-bys, which are essentially warrant templates for legal process to be able to search the Chromebook itself and make sure we have the proper terminology and know what kind of data that can be obtained from these devices so we can put the proper terminology in the warrants, the search warrants, and then also to be able to obtain the same type of data from the provider, which is Google, which is connected with the Chromebooks.
So what we've learned a lot specifically today is actually setting up Chromium VMs is very, very difficult. We've learned that each of the commercial tools acquisition techniques are different in terms of data they get back, as well as what we're seeing in takeouts, which is also different than what we're getting off of the physical devices.
The goal of this event is to not only learn today, but we intend to release papers of this information that we will share broadly with the community. So we intend to put those out as white papers or how-tos that other people in industry can access. So they, even though they weren't here today at this event, they can learn from the benefits of what the team found today by going and reading those white papers in the future.
Today exceeded my expectations. Getting to work with some of the top people who are doing research in this field and collaborate with them to try to come up with new and novel solutions is just an incredible experience, and I think it's going to help progress our entire industry.
And the last one being an analysis of the hardware. So actually taking the devices apart and seeing, is there some way to interact with the device directly and get the data?
A rowdy crowd back there.
They've started drinking.